Let's return to the topic at hand, the animal disease traceability proposal. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter recently had a chance to visit one Texas cattle operation that has a long-standing traceability program already in place.
We're primarily a stocker cattle operation. We do have a set of backgrounding pens. We may feed some cattle in these pens from time to time. We don't do it much anymore. At one time we did have a cow herd of registered Gelbvieh and Red Angus. However, we're down to from about 200 cows to about 24 cows because of the drought. We'll probably pare those down again before it's said and done.
Like other ranchers in the Texas Panhandle, Jay Johnson is dealing with extreme drought, but he believes in taking the long view when it comes to his operation and not just about the weather. He's had an animal traceability program in place for about 10 years now.
The way I define animal traceability is my ability to know where an animal came from. So for us, maybe what ranch it came from or what sale barn it came from. Then as it passes through us and then on to the feed yard and then on to the packing house. So tracing every stop that animal makes in its life.
Jay started an animal traceability program for economic reasons to add value to his cattle.
We probably started handling age and source cattle about 4 years ago. And then it's evolved into buying or having, we still have a few cows around maybe that we did the non-hormone treated cattle, the NHTC cattle, that meat would be eligible to export to Europe.
But he says there are other reasons why animal traceability is important.
First one is from a disease standpoint. It's probably not if, but when we finally do have a disease outbreak that could be damaging to the industry, knowing where that animal has been along its lifetime, if we can trace back and limit the damage to our industry, I think that's important. I think the other part of that is our consumer wants to know more about the product that we're raising. They're not ever going to understand the full process, but if they can understand, the life cycle of that animal and how we handle and treat our animals, I think we're better off with our consumer than them not knowing.
And given that other countries are now demanding meat traceability programs, Jay believes a national program is inevitable in the U.S., and to not have one could harm America's beef exports.
But it's a stumbling block is going to be traceability. It's just something, whether it's true or not, it's something that our competitors can say, we have it, the U.S. doesn't, you need to trade with us. And so it's something that a China or a Korea or whoever can say, y'all really need to have that before we're going to open any more access to our markets.
Jay created his own traceability program. He says the technology involved using button ID tags, computer software, and an electronic wand has come a long way from where it was a decade ago. He estimates the program costs about $2 per head, but says it's a long-term investment.
If we learn how to utilize that data, then that $2 is cheap. Because if it keeps me from buying a set of calves that don't work, or if it helps me market a set of animals that I can say, all right, yeah, I put that $2 tag in them, so I have this information, and a feed yard says, well, that's worth $3, then I'm $1 ahead. I think that's the way I look at it. It's an opportunity for me to add value.
Jay's family has been ranching in the Panhandle for nearly a century. He intends to take his operation forward with programs like animal traceability, and he recommends cattlemen and women learn about it now.
At least investigate it and learn about it, what you can, and how it would apply to your operation, because don't let it sneak up on you and one day the government say, all right, next time you ship cattle from Montana to Texas, we don't care what size they are, you've got to have documentation to trace those animals from point A to point B. But don't be afraid to at least explore the opportunity for change. It may not fit your operation, and if it doesn't, you don't have to do it. But if you don't explore and keep trying to find a better way, not necessarily a newer way, but a better way to improve your operation, you're not ever going to grow.
Reporting from Happy, Texas, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
And we're taking your questions live. Give us a call now at 1-888-824-6688 to ask our panel of experts about traceability, or email us at c2c@beef.org.